This is some beach detecting. A little bit different video today. Instead of scouring the beach and looking for coins and diamonds and rings and all the good stuff we all love to find if we can, I thought I would do a little video on headphones. Um, there's just so many machines out there with so many different kinds of setup now. Wireless, Bluetooth, but there's still all the older machines and even some newer ones that still need, the quarters jack, which is 6.5 millimeter, or the 8-inch jack, which is 3.5 millimeter, I believe. At any rate, the whole thing is I consider myself somewhat of an expert on headphones. I'll give you a little bit of background on this. I'm sure that a lot of you will be able to relate, and these things are choking me. When I was a kid, I liked to have loud music when my parents hated it. So I decided to go to my local Radio Shack and get myself my first pair of realistic headphones. They were Nova 40s or something like that. Anyway, and that opened up a whole new world because I could just crank up whatever I wanted to and parents wouldn't be yelling at me and whatnot. Don't get me wrong, however, when the parents weren't home, I had, the big tower speakers, and those would get cranked up to 11 and enjoy it at that time. But getting back to the headphones, I had a recording studio for several years. It was digital and analog, and I've had a lot of different sets of headphones through the years that I've used, from Sennheiser, JVC, Bose, Mackie, Techniques. I believe that was some. I don't know. God, you know what? I actually got a list. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's see. Well, that might almost cover it. Pioneer, Pyramid, Behringer. That's some of them anyway. So I've had a lot of high-end, high-quality headphones. And, by the time this rolled around to back to metal detecting, I started out and I got my first detector, and I still have it. It's a white 6000 DI Pro SL. Anyway, and it came with these, what I thought was the coolest headphones in the world for the detector because I was just learning about it. They're the Whites Pro, it's stereo mono, fat 1/4-inch jack. Comfortable. They got nice leather, or pleather maybe, for the head. And at any rate, they're nice, man. They're comfortable. And at that time, I really didn't know what I would end up doing. I just know I wanted to get into the hobby of detecting. And so I didn't realize how important those were going to be, because first it was like, well, why do I even need headphones? It's got a speaker, so I can just go ahead and use that. Well, after, using it for a while, I found out being outdoors, whether if it was with other friends detecting or in a park or whatnot. For instance, being in a park, nobody wants to hear beep, 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 and you don't want to hear other people talking while you're trying to find a target. I mean, honestly, without that enclosure, you're liable to miss some valuable targets. I'm not saying that you will or you won't. I'm saying it's a possibility. Definitely when you're doing the beach, with that surf always coming in, the wind blowing, there's, that drowns out any signals that you're going to hear. And look, this video I'm making is obviously not for someone that is very well versed in detecting. They're quite aware of this. This kind of goes more for maybe the beginner people, maybe semi-pro. Hey, look, I'm still learning every day. I talk to all the detectorists out there on YouTube, asking them questions. just because I want to learn more. I see them using products. I'm like, hey, I'm curious about that, you know. And one thing I did notice though is like as I read through a lot of the detectorists, um, the people that comment anyway, there's a lot of questions people throw out there and they never get answered. And a few times I'd be like, yeah, I'd like to know what that means too. So I'm kind of making this video too to uh, fill in maybe some holes at least about the headphones. All right, going into it farther, I'm going to pause for a second here and come right back to you, however this works. All right. So going back a little bit, this video is also based on expensive headphones versus cheap, economical headphones. I found a lot, which most people know. I mean, even like say your speakers in your car or in your house, you know, you got those, or your TV surround sound. You want some nice, high quality sounds, so you can get that, deep bass, and you get, if it's classical music, you can hear all the woodwinds and all the instruments and everything, good clarity and distinction, and then of course, thumping bass or whatever it is that you're into. You want that really, excellent higher end headphone that can handle all those, basically all the frequencies that come into it and all the volume that you're cranking into it. On the other end, when you hook that up with a detector, let me show you a couple things. So these are, these are AKGs that I got. They're like $100 or something like that. I use these for my studio reference headphones. They're really good. They have a lot of distinction. They're not super heavy on the bass or anything. And I don't have a lot of the expensive headphones anymore. I sold my studio, so I got rid of a lot of the higher end things. But these is a set that I kept, and I like them. But I actually use these. You can see them on a couple of my videos with the detector. And they're all right, but, wind comes right through them for the most part. And, you can hear everything, but do you really need to spend that? So you go out and buy, for whites, I keep saying whites, but there's a lot of other detectors out there, which I'm going to do a video also talking about low-end detectors all the way to higher end, so be looking out for that. At any rate, like these whites, if you go buy a pair new, the pros, I don't want to go overbearing, but I think they're like 70, 80, 90 bucks. I know they're made for the machine, and they're comfortable and you can hear everything, but I don't know if they're necessary to purchase anything like this, and I'm going to explain why in a second. So I have some other ones here. These are Caliphones, and these are their higher end model, I suppose, but they're not that expensive. They're stereo mono. They got volume on each side. They're pretty tight, and when you put them on, it blocks that sound, and that's what you want. You want to be hearing what's happening with your detector and what's going on around. These are also those. I have these. These are also economical, and they're Hamilton. Forgive me, I'm not good without glasses. Hamilton Burl. At any rate, they have a single volume on one side that controls both. A stereo jack, which I'll get to those. That has 2 rings, and it doesn't have soft banding on top or whatnot. But overall, with the cushion on them and everything, they're real comfortable, and I've used these several times. And I know it's a straight cord. That plays a bit of a part in, being in your way. You kind of got to wrap it with the detector. And this comes actually with the 1/8 inch 3.5 millimeter jack, and I put this 1/4 inch on for my use. Anyway, okay, so you got those. I think these are cadet. These are definitely the ones that you would have had in school, which I'm about to talk about. And then I just bought these recently, and they are Treasure Wise, 2 volumes, one each side here. Gives you the Frankenstein thing, you know. And then the stereo mono, nice big fat cushion, and comes in the 1/4 inch with the angle jack, which is convenient for certain detectors. For instance, my TDI here, you know, I plug this in on the side here. I don't know if you can see that, hopefully. And then this kind of stays all the way. I actually put a wrap on this so I don't get any junk in there, any sand from the beach. I do most of the beach detecting. All right, so at any rate, what I was trying to get to was, remember when you were in school? I mean, hopefully. You know, when you went to like study halls or whatever, a lot of times they would put on some movie or something, and you listen to it through these, you know, lower end budget headphones, whatever. But when they would go from one scene to the next or something, or you answer a question or true and false, it would beep. And I remember that. And I remember how clear the sound was. You know, turn the next page, beep, or something like that. And you totally you would know when that was happening. And I was like, well, why? That's what a detector does. I mean, that's what you're really listening for. It's not like you're listening for, you know, this big audio sound and this big heavy bass and the music like we were talking about, or I was talking about just a little while ago. You're just listening for those tones. And this is why I'm saying, instead of buying a real expensive set of headphones, these school or class type headphones are excellent. There is nothing wrong with them. I mean, you're talking like you can get these on eBay or whatnot, you know, $15, $20. And, you know, if you want to save some money, go ahead. Now, getting to the other part, when they're mono and stereo, I don't think it really matters a whole lot on the detecting end, but there's ways to tell if you're not familiar. A jack that has 2 black rings is a stereo jack. So if you have an 1/8 inch 3.5 millimeter and you need to go from that, say, to a 1/4 inch 6.5 millimeter, you want to make sure to match those rings so they're both stereo. And then you simply do that, wrap some electrical tape around that to keep it solid, and right in there. Unless you have a detector that doesn't need that at all, you can just stay right with a 1/4 inch. And there's different versions. I mean, like, you can get the angle version there, and then you're all set with that, and vice versa. Also, you can get the take the 1/4 inch jack, we'll just use these, and downsize it to your 1/8 inch jack. Now this one I cut back because I was trying to use it with my Equinox and it wasn't going in all the way. So I cut this back. I found out that really wasn't working too well anyhow. So I just ended up getting a set of headphones that had the 1/4 inch jack because, not trying to talk about the Equinox, but that allows you to use that. I know they have, you know, that's something else, is the wireless Bluetooth now. That's really cool. I like that. But, you know, I have various detectors. So this is great for the Equinox and everything. They have the special adapter here, which goes on the back of your Equinox. And I'm going to have to cheat and look at my paperwork here for a second. Hang on. Let's see here. What's that called? I probably don't have it in front of me. Yeah, this MP12 adapter is what it is. And anyway, it has threads just like this piece on this that protects any water from going into your into the actual workings of the electronics. So the headphone jack would actually go in there with threads. And they don't come like that though. Tony Eisenhower, I know I'm pimping him, but he makes these really cool headphones. They're waterproof, and they screw. He makes the adapter, and it screws right in there, and then you don't have any worries, and you can go underwater all you want with them. And that's another thing too. Even though I do a lot of beach hunting, I'm not going in the water with these because obviously, you trash your detector. Number one, if it's not waterproof, and you ruin the headphones. So I don't necessarily go in the water too much. I've had water machines, and a lot of times those actually come with a hardwired headphone right to them. So that's something that you'll always use with the machines. Really, what I'm getting to though is you can go lower end on your headphones and get great response out of them, and block the outside noise, and just save on your wallet, is all I'm trying to say. And some of you might just totally disagree with me, and you know what? That's fine, man. I'm making this because I've done this before. This has worked for me, and I still continue to use it on my machines. Hey, it works, so why knock it? But if you don't agree with that, your style's your style. It's all good. We all have our own way of doing things. But I thought I would share this more with the people that are starting out, because a lot of people have questions. I got to spend so much money, on getting all my detector and my scoop or my shovel, and et cetera, et cetera. And where can you save money at? This is one of the ways you can save a few bucks. Another thing is, I don't want to get into all that because I'm going to start talking about metal detectors now. Really, what I was just trying to talk about was headphones. So sorry about that. Anyway, there it is. I don't now. Oh, I was going to say, in these style here, I mean, I guess you could use them, but they really don't block out any outside noise. So I wouldn't recommend these earbuds. That's a possibility. You could use them, and then of course, you have all the adapters that plug into those to change them any way you want. And I guess there's that's going to block some noise out. All right, so that's the pretty much a wrap up. I just wanted to share that with the detector community and those people upcoming in it. It's a great hobby to be in. I just thoroughly enjoy it. I go out as much as I possibly can, and I hope that you can get out there and do the same thing. It's great for yourself or for your family or your friends or whatever that you're doing. Like I always say, it's one of the hobbies that, or probably one of the only hobbies that will pay you back. You never know what you're going to hit out there, so that's why it's exciting. Keep on digging, you don't know what's under the ground. So much for watching this video. I hope it helped in maybe making a decision on headphones or explain some things about them. Try to be informative as possible on that, and save you guys some money. So looking forward to watching y'all's videos out there. I think that the detector community is really getting strong, and I enjoy everybody's digs and everything that they do. It's just, I think it's one of the coolest things in life, from the archaeology end all the way to finding that great surprise one day. At any rate, thanks again for watching my video. Please subscribe and hit the like button. And thanks for watching. Have a super day.